Hi, Caden. I hope that you're doing well. All right, so last week we spoke about the major scale and sort of how they work and what their function is. And I told you there are really only two rules that you have to worry about whenever you're looking to make a major scale, right? Our first rule states that you must end on the same letter you started on, and that otherwise you must use every letter one time. 7 letters in our alphabet. We have to cycle through all of them and then come back to the one we started on. Pretty straightforward, right? Our second rule has to do with the half step and whole step pattern. Remember, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step, right? Pretty straightforward. One thing you have to watch out for and remember, the first note that you start on does not count as a whole step or a half step. You can't go directly from sitting to walking. You have to stand first. It's very much the same here. So just remember that first note does not count as either. And the moment you move from your first note, that's whenever you start counting your whole steps and half steps. So now we get to go through the fun of learning how to play it on our instrument. Your instrument, the trumpet, is what is called a B flat instrument, which means it's always a whole step higher than what we actually hear. Like a C for the trumpet is what is actually called a B flat on C instruments, where you it's a pretty funny pun, but like with C instruments you see what you get or you hear what you get. But yeah, so for you, your C major scale on the trumpet is actually going to be spelled like a D major scale. So it'll be your D major scale, but it will sound like a C major scale. So to play your D, remember we have our first valve and our third valve down. So we're going first and third. Then we're going to go first and second valve. From there, we go to just our second valve. And then we go open. And then we'll go 1 and 2 again. I'll go over that part one more time. And remember, as we're going up, our armature is getting closer and closer together, and our air is getting faster and faster. So, here's your D, there's your E, here is your F sharp, here's your G, here's your A. Excuse me. After we get to A, we're going to go up to B. Then after B, we're going to go to C sharp, which is 1 and 2 again. And then you'll hold down your first valve in order to hit your high D. So, all together, we have D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. And it'll sound like this. The only difference is yours is going to sound higher because your instrument is smaller and you play up higher. But yes, so assignment for this week, I want you to work out that your D major scale, what is really just the C major scale. And then one more time on the fingerings. 1 and 3, 1 and 2. 2 by itself, open, 1 and 2, 2 by itself, 1 and 2 again, then just 1. Okay? All right, buddy. I hope that you have a good week, and I'll see you next time.